it's Gina at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, and I'm here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead of July 12th. So we're going to start off with the moon in the sign of Leo, and it's going to be there until about early morning on Tuesday, and then it's going to head into the sign of Virgo. So we still have the sign of Cancer, so we know Cancer rules the home. It's that really nurturing quality of like a mother. I think of it as great times to enjoy being home, cooking at home, all those kind of things. So with it in Leo, the moon in Leo, and we give a lot of attention to where the moon is in astrology because it's considered the closest planet to us and it affects our moods and affects really our daily life. So we really track where the moon is at. So we're just coming out of the new moon that happened on this past Friday. So it's a great time to make your wishes, to think about how you can care for yourself better, how you can be kinder to yourself, so therefore you can help nurture others also. So the moon is starting to wax, get larger, head into towards the full moon. And so let's savor this time of Leo because it's a little bit more dynamic. And so that'll be Monday, basically Monday, and then Tuesday into Virgo. So I like to think of Virgo as a great time to sort and sift. Virgo likes things organized, even if it's their own wild way of organizing. Virgo is actually a mutable sign, and it took me a while to understand that because I thought of Virgo as so precise. But it's mutable, and I guess I realized that because I have a lot of energy in Virgo's house myself, and I love to rearrange things. And so I think of Virgo now as like always wanting to move things around, almost like that game Tetris where everything falls into place. So maybe this is a good time to rearrange things, rearrange your home a little bit, spend some time in the house, and just kind of savor what you have. And then towards Thursday, the 15th, in the morning, the moon is going to enter Libra. And this Libra in astrology is the 7th house. It rules anyone who is not yourself. It's relationships. It's ruled by Venus, actually. So we're going to have a nice Venus weekend because the moon will stay in Libra until about mid-afternoon on Saturday when it's going to enter Scorpio. So I just think it's a great weekend to enjoy your partner, enjoy the finer things. If you don't have a partner, then be a great partner to yourself or spend some time with people you love. Let's see, Venus has been in opposition with Saturn for a little while now. So there's been kind of some strict rules. It can be a little bit harsher time when it comes to things that have to do with Venus, that have to do with love and self-love, and that's going to start to wear off this week. So I want you to savor this weekend, have fun, and really, really enjoy it. So Saturday and Sunday, you'll have a chance to delve into those deep emotions, that deep love, and you should feel a little bit freed up on anything to do with Venus. And remember, Venus rules love, self-love, jewelry, wallets, all that beautiful stuff. So we do have both the sign Venus and Mars, how you take action in the sign of Leo. So it can be, I would say, let it be hot and heavy instead of arguing and that kind of heavy. Okay, so let's just concentrate on these few things here, taking some fun time on Monday, maybe settling into the home a little bit more Tuesday, Wednesday, getting things in order, and maybe just getting your thoughts in order. And then enjoying relationships over the weekend, feeling a little bit more free, and then really having fun with that Scorpio energy over the weekend. Scorpio rules transformation, things changing. Let them change for the better. It also rules sex. It rules all that deep down emotion. So enjoy it. Take advantage of it. Okay, so the week ahead, I believe this is our last week, also full week being in the sign of Cancer. And then we're going to move into the sun's going to move into the sign of Leo. So I think that happens sometime next week. Yes, on Thursday the 22nd. So this is your last full week of Cancer. Enjoy it. Enjoy your home. Enjoy your loved ones. Things are going to start to move ahead quicker. All right, so we have pile number 1. We have this beautiful Joy and Delight oracle card. And I'm forgetting the name of this oracle deck right now. Hopefully it'll come to me. Okay, this one is pile 2, Meditation to Dig Deep. And pile 3 is Strength and Resilience. So go ahead, pick your pile, let's get started. Pile number 1, Joy and Delight. Summer, there's so much fun to be had if it ever stops raining here. Connecticut's just been nonstop rain. All right, so let's see what we've got. I'm working with a couple decks. I've got the Light Seers, the Wizard's Tarot, which is a new favorite, and Everyday Enchantment, which is this beautiful one. So let's see what we have for you for the week ahead. We're starting off with the Two of Pentacles. She's sitting on this lily pad. It's so pretty. So let's see. 2, we know that the moon is going to be in Libra, which is 2, basically, scales of justice. And really taking the time to balance out the relationship, but taking the time out for yourself. Because remember, Libra is ruled by Venus. And so this picture just feels so calming, just being out there, this giant lily pad. We've got the Queen of Wands coming up in your heart position. Boy, she's a powerhouse. Look at her, Fire Queen. She's coming up in the heart position. Venus is in the sign of Leo, a fire sign, so it's dynamic. Here's the Two of Cups, your second 2. So there's a lot of relationship themes going on here, and there's a lot of passion. And this can be love passion, or this can just be life passion. But it's dynamic, and you're definitely connecting with the ones that you really do care about. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, we've got 2 falling out. We've got the Magician and Strength. 2 majors. I love this Magician. Gardening. Looks like inner city kind of gardening. Fabulous. And so he has so much joy, and he is just really working magic. Planting in an area that doesn't look like it's been used like that for a while. And so that's coming in on the bottom. The Magician, I associate it with Scorpio. We know that the moon is going to be in Scorpio by the weekend. So work your magic. Have joy. I mean, he has just such a smile on his face. And there's just so much joy in your first card. So I'm excited to see that. We've got this beautiful Strength card. Look at her with that dragon. Gorgeous. So Strength is Leo. It's the heart chakra. It's coming in next to, placing it next to the Queen of Wands, who would be like a Leo queen. And so there's really a lot of dynamic energy here. Let's use it properly, right? Because the Magician can use his energy any way that he wants to. And he's using it for something fabulous here. Here's the Four of Cups. Kind of pausing, taking it in. There's this new cup being offered. Almost like, the focus was on the Three of Cups over here. There's this new one. I almost feel like there's like a new friendship coming in. Here's the Eight of Wands. So dynamic. Oh, I think I picked an extra card. Six of Blades, Six of Swords. Kind of skating away here. And then we've got the Moon. Here's our bonus card, the Moon. It's an interesting looking moon, isn't it? So, okay, let's see. The moon is really, it's a little tricky because in astrology, the moon is associated with Cancer. And in tarot, it's kind of more associated with Pisces. But either way, it's associated with water. And and she looks almost like, look at her face. She almost looks not of this realm. The full moon behind her, and coming in next to the Magician. 6 of Blades. I'm going to pull a couple clarifying cards because I feel like I'm missing something here. There's like a lot of forward movement. I see the 8 of Wands is like dynamic. It's often called the honeymoon card. It like indicates travel, movement. Then you got the 6 of Blades where they're ice skating away. And then you've got the moon, which is almost like you're being communicated with from the other side. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the Queen of Cups. Wow, that's a lot of water. 4 of Pentacles and Judgment. Look at this Queen of Cups. There is so much water. Look at all that. It's almost going like, it looks like it's rising and it's going to rise up over her head soon. We've got this 4 of Pentacles where this door is locked. And then we've got this Judgment card, which is also Scorpio. So I'm feeling like there's like a lot of emotion here and there's a lot of passion here. And it can go well or it can get really intense. But there's a transformation happening. There's some kind of information that's going to be presented to you that hasn't been accessible to you before. And it could be a little bit overwhelming. And there's going to be some shifts here. Judgment is card number 20. So it would be a 2 in numerology. It would break down to a 2. It's associated with Pluto. It's Scorpio. So it's like the death of something. And it could be the death of a relationship. There's some information coming out that may cause you to feel like you need to move on. We know with all this Venus energy and this Cancer energy, there's been a lot of things going on as far as with women. And also with the Saturn opposing Venus that's just starting to wear off this week. So there's going to be a shift. I feel like there's information that you found that you're either going to find out or that you found out that's going to affect your relationships. Here's the Moon card again. And the Sun. Okay, I'm happy to see the Sun, the Ace of Cups. 6 of Cups. Okay, so more water. She's kind of just sinking down into it, kind of overwhelmed. But here's the Sun. Leo, Venus in Leo, heart chakra. So whatever it is that's coming out, it needed to come up and out. It may feel a little overwhelming and it feels uncomfortable for a little while. But then as we move along a little bit later in the week, you've got the Ace of Cups here, which I had referenced it back here with the 4 of Cups where it looks like she's being handed an Ace of Cups. So it's coming up in your future here, again, coming out of love, out of the heart. And then the 6 of Cups is very nostalgic, thinking of this relationship and how long it's been going on for. So please use this fire, passionate Leo, Venus energy correctly. Use it for fun, use it for love, use it to be dynamic. Please step away from drama. There's a lot of information coming to you intuitively. You may not even realize if it all makes sense, but it could come in your dreams. It could come to you by accident. There's something there that's been kind of kept away for a little while that's going to come out. And you're going to it's going to feel a little overwhelming, but you're going to have to assess the value of it. There's a little bit of nostalgia going on, but remember, your first card was joy and delight. So I do think that that is what the end result will be. And there's the Tower card, so it's definitely like information coming in. It might feel a little out of the blue. And you're going to need time to rest and sort through it. It's a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions, but I think it's going to be like one extreme to the next extreme, where you're going to be like burdened by it, having a hard time sleeping, and then there's a freedom that's going to come in the end, and that's really going to crack you open for the positive. I want to roll some astro dice here. Each of these has a planet, a sign, and a number. Let's see what we have for you. So you've got Saturn in Sagittarius in the first house. Okay, I personally have Saturn in the first house, and I know it's one of the tougher placements for Saturn. So the first house is like early on. It's the first house of the zodiac. It's Aries house. It's like the child period of your life. And there's Saturn, which is like those rules. And so it can be a little bit harsh, and it can be a little bit hard to find your way, because you're just like starting to define who you are, and then you're hit with all these rules. But it's in Sagittarius, which is that forward arrow being shot forward. So it's almost like this information feels like it's going to come in like this. It's going to hit you hard, but then it's going to launch you forward, and it's going to bring good results. So it's going to expand you. Sagittarius is Jupiter, so it's expansion. It's also luck and blessing. So it's going to catapult you forward. I want to pull another oracle or two. What do I want to use here? I'm going to reach over here because this one's calling me. This is the Relative Tarot Oracle. Let's see, what else? Forget-me-nots. Civil Servant. Intuition. And Inheritance. Okay, so Forget-me-nots feels like an old friend, like they don't want to be forgotten. So there's something there that like this information will be about a friend that you've probably had for a while. This reminds me of Saturn, the civil servant, the rules. We have intuition. We talked about paying attention to your dreams. This information can come to you intuitively, all this water energy. So pay attention what's going on. What's going on in your dreams? What thoughts are you thinking? What feelings do you have right now? There's something there that's giving you something important. Here's the Inheritance card, and this feels so Scorpio to me because Scorpio is the house of inheritance, and we're going into a Scorpio weekend. So just take this time, be open, pay attention to what's going on. Again, use this Leo Venus energy to have a dynamic time. Choose love, choose the heart over arguing. We're still coming through that period where I've been warning you for a couple weeks to be careful about the arguing. And then we have to pay attention to intuition. Some informations that it will come in that may feel a little shocking at first, but it's going to free up something. And it's almost going to stop this cycle. There's like this inheritance card, this being handed down. Something's going to break free. Okay? So have a great week. Pile number 2. We have this Meditation to Dig Deep card. Very cool. It's definitely the time to be digging. Looks like there's all these crystals. It's almost like the dog's like remembering what was buried there. Okay, so let's see what we have, working with a couple decks. I have the what do I have in here? I have the Everyday Enchantment, the Wizards Tarot, and the Light Seers. So let's see what we've got for you for the week ahead. We've got the Five of Wands starting us off. 5 is change, fire, wands is fire, passion, a little bit of teamwork, easily could turn into a struggle. With the 5 of Cups, speaking of struggles, a lot of crying going on. It's also a 5, so 2 5s in a row. We've got the 8 of Wands here. It's an interesting version of it from the Wizards Tarot. So all these wands kind of flying out the window. This book has been opened, and this It's all going out into the world. Here's the 9 of coins or 9 of pentacles coming in on your foundation position. Another reference to a book being opened. Reading. She looks very calm. She has a beautiful meal in front of her. The window's open. It looks very pleasant. So the top is like, we're topped with this 5 of Wands, this teamwork, which easily turns into a fight, but then there's this calm at the bottom. There's a lot of tears going on. It's almost like there's a 5 of Cups, which is like extreme like sadness, and then the kind of poor me stuff, and then 8 of Wands, which often is called the honeymoon card, so it's like a lot of joy. So I feel like there's a lot of extremes. Behind the scenes, we have the Hierophant, another 5. This is your third 5. Now, 5/2021, we know it's a 5-year in numerology. This would be the major arcana of the year, the Hierophant. Sagittarius card about higher learning. It's a house of spirituality, of expansion. And this card just always like reminds me of laughter yoga. Such joy. It's coming in the background, and it's actually placed next to the 5 of Cups. And my experience with laughter yoga is you laugh so hard that you do start crying, and that there is this fine line between crying and laughing. There's just so much joy, and then through laughing you can actually start to release some of that sadness that you have. So that may be good therapy for you. Here's the World card coming in the background. The last major arcana. So there's something that's changing and something that's coming to its end in the background, but there's this need to stay calm, to nurture yourself. Venus in Leo, right? Leo is the self, the heart, and so really having to take care of yourself really well this week in general, but this week. There's the 4 of Swords. She's got a lot on her mind. The swords are crossed. Actually, it looks like the swords are crossed, but they're 4 swords coming out, and they're kind of all pointed in her center of her body there. So she is in a bed of roses, and it does look beautiful, but she looks pretty exhausted. So you definitely have to take the time out for yourself. You need the naps. You need this beautiful time of just enjoying what you like. You know, Leo can be about drama, and so she's feeding herself with this book, with good drama, with something so that you don't create it in your life. It's too easy to do right now. There's the 5 of Cups again. There's a lot of sadness. There's a mourning going on here that needs to be had. Your first card was meditation to dig deep. And it looks like they're digging things up that they put there once. And the 5 of Cups is here. So something's coming to a close, and there's some changes, and they may feel like it's not right or overwhelming or just really sad, but I feel like it's going to pull you in a good direction. I want to pull a few more cards. You gotta just mourn it, and it's going to pass soon. That's one of the things I like about following the moon cycle, is that the moon only stays in the same sign for 2.5 days. So if you're feeling really sad or really down, you know that it's going to start to shift. Now, Cancer season in general can be very emotional, and we were just coming out of the Cancer new moon. So we had the moon and the sun in Cancer, not to mention that there's a few other planets there too. So it was emotional. And so know that, okay, you had to do that. Now what? It's the Queen of Swords, who would be more of a logical queen, looking at the bigger picture. She'd be more like a Gemini queen, or an Aquarius queen, something like that. That's going to come more out of logic and big picture thinking than just being stuck down here in man's world, so to speak, of just crying and loss. The Knight of Swords, another air. And he's getting out of there. He's had enough. He's gonna jump on that bike and go. The Strength card and Temperance. Beautiful. Leo card. Venus and Leo, and we know that Saturn is going to start, the opposition with Venus is going to let up this week. So it's going to feel lighter. It's going to move forward a little bit easier. And you're going to come out the other end of this stronger. There's Temperance here. He's found a balance between the cup of the mind and the cup of the heart, kind of pouring back and forth. That's what Temperance wants you to learn, that through surrendering and finding a balance. All right, I want to pull a couple more because I feel like I'm missing a little bit. Is there anything else that you need to know for this week ahead? The Devil card. King of Swords. And the Two of Wands. Okay. So the Devil's ruled by Saturn. And so we know that Saturn energy is going to lighten up a little bit for you this week. And it's kind of like just seeing the, I think of the Devil card as like a lot of beliefs about what's right and wrong. And so that's going to be coming up to really look at. And looking at it from a logical way. Because now we've got the King of Swords. We had the Queen before. Here's the King. Kind of getting back to business, so to speak. Getting back, I'm just repeatedly seeing references to books, to getting back to your studies, getting back to your reading, getting pulling yourself out of this emotional hole. There's the Two of Wands, and his ships are coming in outside the window. So taking the attention onto what's next, what's coming. And the Two of Wands, and we're going into this Libra period, Libra moon towards towards the end of the week. So let's shift the attention more. Let's see what's of value that you've learned out of this, and move forward. I'm gonna pull a couple oracles, and then we're gonna roll some astro dice. So I've got the Relative Tarot Oracle here. Let's see any other themes for you this week. Artistry. Optimism, Theatrics, Martyrdom, and Vanity. Okay, so there's a point of crying, there's a point of getting it out, and there's a need to kind of wallow in the poor me briefly. And then there's a way to take all that emotion and express it and make something beautiful, like make art out of it. Make something joyful. See the optimism, look at it from a different perspective. Or you can continue this dramaticness and it becomes like this theatrical, which is very Leo. And it's just like, it can become over dramatic. And then it just starts to become like an out of balance Leo energy, where you're just gonna take the attention however you can get it. So you kind of have a choice here. These tears need to be cried. There's a switch more towards logical. You can make something beautiful out of this, or you can continue this into more sticky emotional drama. It's your choice. You started with the Five of Wands, so it can be teamwork or it can be fighting. So make something beautiful. Take something beautiful out of what's happened. Let's see what your astro dice are for the week. And we've got your North Node in Virgo in the 10th house. So North Node has to do with your soul's contract, what you came here to learn. And Virgo is associated with like the house of health, the house of service. And the 10th house is your career. It's Capricorn's house. It's getting grounded. So you really need to, it's kind of the opposite of all this emotional stuff that we saw here. It's like, no, now's the time to sort through the details of what's going on. And it's almost like spring cleaning. What has to go? This is for your health. I really feel like your surroundings are a reflection of your insides, your health. So let's sort it. As you sort through what's going on out here, you sort through here, and vice versa. And then the 10th house getting really grounded, Capricorn energy. And it's the house of your career, so it's like the bigger picture. What's really going on here? What do you really want going on here? So harness your energy back in, use it properly towards what you want. Have a great week. Pile number 3, strength and resilience. Look at that. Okay, let's see what you've got going on this week. Working with the Light Seers deck, the Wizards Tarot, one of my newer decks, and the Everyday Enchantment. We're starting off with the Chariot. Ruled by, associated with the sign Cancer, ruled by the moon. Card number 7, your spiritual path. Wow, it's almost like they're like dragons pulling you forward. So dynamic forward movement, especially in the emotions department. So we just came out of a Cancer new moon. So that means we have the sun in Cancer and the moon in Cancer for a couple days there. So it was pretty emotional. By the time you listen to this will come out Sunday afternoon. The moon will have moved into Leo, but Mercury will enter Cancer. So definitely still going to be very emotional communication going on. We have the Page of Cups, more water energy, and it's rising up. And I love that there's like a pig flying there. So maybe, it's almost like there's opportunities for conversation that'll draw you together that you thought maybe you could never have. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the Hermit. Virgo card. Hermit is searching for his truth. And he's just floating there. I love that version of him. So calm. Being able to see a bigger picture. Here's the Four of Wands. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Look at that. Let's see how that plays out. Looks like you're being like given orders. There's the Eight of Cups. The door is open. The moon is calling. Kind of walking away from all these everyday tasks, all these dishes, all the cooking. There's an ironing board in the background. It's just nonstop. But there's this calling out here to this moon to really tap into the emotions, to your intuition, how much that's going to pull you forward. There's this opportunity, this rare opportunity to step away, take some time alone. It's almost like you're being ordered to do so. There's the Six of Pentacles. Almost like looks like she's giving out the orders also. 6 is usually like seen as a card of movement forward also. There's Judgment. I think of Judgment as Scorpio, water energy. There's a freedom here. The moon is going to be in Scorpio by the weekend. After being in Libra, which is all about relationships. And then we're move into Judgment, card number 2. More relationships, but it's a relationship with yourself, and there's a freedom. There's all this like implications of like rising up. The Page of Cups, there's like pigs flying, this rising up here. There's the Hermit that's doing so. There's the Judgment card. And then Strength and Resilience, she's like pointing up. So there's like this freedom to step away for a little bit for you. You need to do this. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Look at the tires just like rolling away. You're being guided away. So if there's any way that you can step away from your everyday routine, even if that's like in a minor form, even if that means like, I'm gonna go take a walk that I don't usually take, or I'm gonna go get a meal, spend some time by myself that I don't usually do it, because there's this, you're being drawn to whatever it is that you do. It's going to strengthen you and make you more in touch with what's really going on, what you really want, what you really feel. I think it's going to affect your relationships greatly for the better. So let's see. I feel like there's more here. It's the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, something beautiful and new, growing. King of Cups, which he's just like so taking some time out for himself, feeling his feelings. He's got like a singing bowl in front of him. He's just on the water, just taking some time out. I love that his crown is just like floating above his head here, but he's in blue jeans, or it looks like blue jeans. He's relaxed. He's kind of taking time off from his role of king. And then 2 pages, which is like young energy, something new. Maybe it feels foreign. Maybe you don't really know how to do it. Maybe you're always busy with your kids, but this is new. This is a new way of thinking. This is a new way of showing up for yourself. And it can start in small increments. Let's see. I want to roll some dice, and I want to pull some oracle cards for you. Somehow, I wasn't planning to use this oracle every day. Relative tarot, but it snuck its way in here. Let's see. A couple oracle cards for you. We've got Rescue, Academic, Leisure, Rescue, Academic, and Leisure. There's definitely some implications of just like going by water and relaxing. If you have a chance, there's any way you can sneak off even for a day by yourself. There's something that's really gonna come out of it. There's some knowledge that's gonna come to you that's really gonna save you. That's really going to, it's just gonna pull you ahead. It's like the inconvenience of one night away, what it's gonna bring for you is so worth it. Comedy, Tragedy, Servitude. Let's do one more. Snake Charmer. Okay, so Comedy, Tragedy. I've been talking about Venus in Leo, and how Leo, it will get its attention no matter what. So if you gotta choose something fun instead of like, let's not make this dramatic. Let's not get attention through drama. Let's get attention through comedy and fun and good times. And the Servitude really reminds me of this card that we pulled over here. There's always going to be dirty dishes. There's always going to be something else to take up our time. But you have to choose you once in a while. Here's the Snake Charmer. Look at him. So he feels like so Scorpio, and this is going to be a Scorpio weekend. So just do what you want. Make it about you. And like I said, even if that's not possible for you to do that in some big way, I'd like to see you do it in a small way, as symbolically. Let's see what your Astro dice for the week are. We have Saturn, in Virgo in the 9th house. Okay. So Saturn, again, you think of Saturn as the rules, but Saturn wants things a certain way. It rules the sign Capricorn, but over time when you work with Saturn, things get better. Like your first Saturn return is a tough one, but your second one really can bring you a lot of blessings, because over time, Saturn gives you the key to the treasure chest. So just starting to really learn that, okay, there's these restrictions, but they're still leading you somewhere positive. It's in Virgo, which rules the house of health and well-being. And the 9th house really to me is the house of freedom. It's the house of Sagittarius. It's expansion. It's foreign travel. It's higher thinking. It's the classroom. And you did get the academic. So maybe even if there's a class that you can take, there's something symbolic that you want to say to the universe. I am following the rules. I'm doing my duty that I need to do, but I also have a duty to myself to take time out for my health and well-being, how big or small that can be. And the 9th house does rule foreign travel, so if you got a chance to do that, that would be great. But maybe it's just something foreign to you. Maybe it's something about maybe taking a class that's foreign to you, or maybe going, there's comedy and snake charmer. Maybe you go see some kind of comedy show or something that brings you some joy, that takes you away from this servitude. And you kind of almost making a deal with Saturn, that like compromising. Yes, I'll do all that, but I need this. And as you do it, then it starts to change your world. I'm drawn to pull one more card, so I'm just gonna do it. Let's see what you've got. The High Priestess. She is related to the sign Cancer. She's ruled by the moon, not to mention that she's gorgeous. She's the divine feminine. She would go buy herself a beautiful piece of clothing or do something wonderful for herself. She's a 2, so I'm thinking of this as in relationship with yourself, that you need to honor it. Like, look at her outfit, look at her hair and her jewelry. She brings so much to the table. She's so intuitive. She's the essence of a woman, and that feminine energy, that nurturing energy. So there's so much nurturing that you give that it's time to give it back. So please do something fun for yourself. It's a Scorpio weekend, so it can be wild and crazy. Or maybe you just spend some resting. Scorpio kind of likes to hide, so maybe you hide out somewhere. Do something as small or as big as possible. Have a good week.